in the gray. It is November 19th. So, big news. So I finally got that second opinion with the MS neurologist. And at first, okay, so I get there 15 minutes early because I'm supposed to. And then I don't see him until an hour because apparently other people have been showing up late. Which was like, I apologize and da-da-da. And I'd generally be like, oh, it's okay. But I was actually really pissed off, so I just remained silent. So I was like, good, you apologized. So I just waited an hour for our appointment. I was early. Like, I was ready to go. Why weren't you? So then he's looking over everything and he's like, so what brings you in today? And I'm like, well, I just want to get a second opinion. It's been a while since I've seen an MS neurologist, and I just decided that maybe I should get a second opinion. And he's like, you mean a fourth opinion? And I'm like, what do you mean by fourth? I've only seen, you're my second MS neurologist. He's like, well, you went from a specialty neurologist in headache and migraines, and then you got referred to an MS neurologist, and then she referred you to a general neurologist, and then now you're seeing me. And I'm like, correct, but you're my second opinion for an MS neurologist. So he's like, okay, alright, so what are your symptoms? And this time, I was actually pretty short and sweet. I was just giving him the highlighted, I was like, I'll tell you the ones that are, like, still ongoing. On my right side, I have the lack of sensitivity in my foot, especially to temperature. I have tremors that are specifically on my right-hand side. My short-term memory sucks. I'm also not as sharp. And he was like, oh, and how so? And I'm like, in a lot of different areas, and it's becoming more apparent because I'm a grad student. And then he was like, oh, well, where are you going? I'm like, University of Rochester for mental health counseling. And he's like, oh, okay. And then, he was like, okay, so then how did you get here? So I was like, okay, well, I went blind, and then they referred me to see the neurologist, and then he thought I had seizures and put me on all the seizure anticonvulsant medication, even though all of my tests for seizures and epilepsy came negative. So could you explain me that logic? And then to prove his point, even though I kept on thinking I had MS, he referred me to see an MS specialist who I was on her docket for about 9 months, who said that I had early stages of MS, but it also could be other things. And then at the end of 9 months, due to my symptoms that don't fit the criteria, she referred me to go to see a general neurologist, who then made me go and see a hematologist, an oncologist, and various other specialists. Oh, also, when I had the first MS neurologist, she was also thinking that possibly my trauma when I was younger was contributing to physical symptoms. So I went to see a neuropsychologist. Here's the paperwork. And I was like, I am diagnosed with PTSD. Currently, I'm in therapy, and my PTSD the last 3 years has actually been a lot better, meaning more manageable. And my therapist recently spoke to Erica Patrick, confirming that everything that's going on is not related to my PTSD or anything psychologically based. I was like, also, when I told my eye doctor that I went blind, he conducted a couple tests. Here's that paperwork. And after he looked at both the neuropsychologist saying that it was anything psychologically based, and then seeing what my eye doctor found, which what he found was precursors for MS due to my nerve fibers. Just from then, he was like, okay, well, my job, I'm going to take it as, uncovering the rocks. You've seen a lot of specialists, like really good people in the area. I was like, yep, and the reason why I chose you is because my aunt told me to go through the MS Society. Highly recommend that website, and you're affiliated with them, so I called you up to get my second opinion. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, I did see that you have a paternal aunt that has MS. I was like, and it's atypical. And he's like, did they ever do a spinal tap? I'm like, nope, they never did. I've only had 6 MRIs, and I have my next round of MRIs coming up in December. And I'm pretty sure it's only 4 scans in the head, and originally they did scans on my top spinal column, and he told me, he was like, they should have done the whole, because MS could be developed in the lower part of your spine, not just the top. So he told me that he was kind of shocked that they didn't do that. He was also shocked that they didn't push the spinal tap with all the extensive tests I've done. So he ordered up all the stuff. Also, when he did like a basic neurology exam, he noticed that my right side is less sensitive than my left side. And I also do tremble a little bit more than should. So yay for having fucked up body stuff. That's now noticeable. So today is, well, by definition, because it's 12 a.m., it's Wednesday. So on Monday, the 24th, I have another round of, we're going to do another EVP, Evoked Visual Potentials, to see what's going on there, see how they are comparison to my original results that I had about 9 months or so. And then I have my round of MRIs on December 6th. He's tacking on a lower lumbar and thoracic scan to my MRIs, so it would be additional 8 scans, 2 by 2 by 4. And then December 18th, I'm getting the spinal tap. I've never been so excited for a spinal tap. Like, the fact that he was just like, we're gonna do this. I'm like, okay, alright, that's what I was gonna actually push for, so win-win. So my spinal tap is on December 18th in the afternoon, and I'm nervous but excited and super happy that this guy's being aggressive. He did say, he was like, well, if anything that we can, figure out what's going on, he's like, I do want to caution you, I've been monitoring a patient of mine who fits half the criteria and half not, so you could be one of those individuals that could fit the criteria, half not, and you have to just wait around until you fit the full criteria or something changes in the medical model. And I'm like, well, how long have you been seeing that guy? He's like, 8 years. I'm like, oh God, please don't make me do that. Please don't make me do that. Not that I'm saying that I'm wishing for MS, but after 2 years and going through everything I've been going through, and the fact that all the other medical personnel and staff have been telling me that I have MS, and they're shocked that I still haven't been diagnosed with MS, is kind of really frustrating. I'm also writing a mini thesis on it, and showing very crazy psychological effects that happen with the individual that goes through a chronic illness. Not specifically that's undiagnosed, but something that is diagnosed. So I'm really excited, and now I'm working out who can drive me and who can maybe monitor me after I get the spinal tap, and what's going on with that. But yeah, so exciting things, and it's crazy because it's all things that are gonna like sandwiched in with finals week, so it's gonna be exciting but stressful and kind of like, shit, this is intense, like, I don't know what to do. But yeah, this is the update, so hope you guys are hanging in there and being tough cookies.